Tonight, you are auditioning to be a lounge singer.
El Jefe.
El Jefe.
Let's do it. Boom. Hey, welcome to the Desert Brew. I'm Gene.
I'm Rasheed.
And what we got going on today?
We got a lot. So I think we're checking out the mod show.
The Mod Squad.
Yep, at the Cultural Center.
At the Cultural Center, exactly. Don't worry, Rasheed's not going to sing again.
First of all, that was a blessing.
It was.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but anyway. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to stop into a gallery that I found. They actually just did a benefit for the fire. And one of the things I wanted to bring up as long as we were talking about that is remembering to give to the local animal shelter. Whether it's money, bring in blankets, whatever you can do. They've cleared the shelter so they can bring animals from Los Angeles to be able to give space for people who don't have a space for their dogs while they're being displaced. So let's go check it out. We got a good show.
Let's do it. Today, we're getting active.
Hey, I have found an amazing gallery owned by a physician. I mean, first of all, you're a renowned physician.
Thank you, yeah. So I'm actually a working physician and
Okay.
I still see patients and take care of people. So that is still my primary career. However, my love of art has always existed and I was always a collector for years and years. So we're blessed to have some really amazing artists from all over the world and internationally and around the country. And I think that's why the gallery kind of has that ability to be distinct and unique in the pieces that are present. For example, this is Yuri Zoderain, one of Latin America's and Mexico's most renowned artists. This version of this piece he has in the Latin American Museum in Los Angeles, and he's been collected by the Queen of Spain, Giorgio Armani, Donna Karan, and numerous other dignitaries, and actually a former US president actually has his works as well. I had always loved museums, have always been my favorite place to go. Like since I was a kid, I've always been a fan of museums. And it's interesting, this layout, this building is kind of special. It was Jim Chiaffi's first building that he designed as an architect in 1979 when he left Hugh Captor. They were partners in the architectural firm. And then at some point, it was owned by Priscilla Presley, Elvis's wife. And in the mid-90s, I think Jim Chiaffi bought it back from her and it was his firm for 25 years until I took it over and renovated it and kind of just gave it a new life.
So where are you sourcing the art from? Obviously I get a New York feel.
So actually two ways. One is the artists are submitting their applications to our website and they email us their portfolios and we review it and decide whether it's work that would work here. And also myself, I just kind of browse different artists' websites and their Instagrams and decide this would be really amazing. Who is this artist? Why are they not in Palm Springs? And we do a direct reach out. And oftentimes a lot of really amazing artists want to show in Palm Springs. They know Palm Springs has a vibrant design and arts community. They appreciate it. But generally, I think a lot of galleries in the past have limited themselves to what they decided is a more modernist kind of a mid-century aesthetic.
Sure.
And so for me, that wasn't ever necessarily my own point of view. I appreciate it, but I've always liked eclectic art. And even my medical offices, I always designed them as art galleries, my LA office as well as my office here, because I wanted patients to walk in and feel not reactive, that they are not in a medical setting, that they could walk in.
Other than mesmerized by the art.
There you
Other
go.
than mesmerized by the art.
There you go.
Yes.
And so it's kind of actually, you know, since I work in mental health, I'm an addiction medicine physician that has a team of therapists and clinicians that we work, you know, on complex mental health cases. We want patients to feel like they're at home, that they're relaxed. We never wanted the space to feel activating or medical or stoic.
Today, we're getting active.
You gotta see everything. You gotta see it all. So talking about some of the artists.
Sure.
Let's just go on a tour.
So this the piece here actually is by a artist by the name of Ellie Shafai. She actually caught my eye because she was an art student at a university in Iran. And her work was all about gender apartheid and how women in other countries are, you know, being kind of sexualized and they're being mistreated. As you know, in Iran, the women life freedom movement was the women saying, hey, we don't want to wear the hijab, we don't want to cover up, we don't want to follow Islamic policy, and we want to be secular and democratic. And so she was making art against the establishment to the point that the government came in and censored her and said you can no longer make art, and they banned her from the university.
Wow.
So at that point, she emigrated to the United States recently, several years ago, went to UC Davis, got her bachelor's in fine art as well as art history, and now she's at the New York Academy of Art getting her master's in fine art. So here we have another artist, Yuri Ostavani. He's out of San Francisco. And one of the things I love about his pieces, he kind of does an homage to whether it's Rothko or other well-known artists from the 1950s and 60s, the great modernists. And he also likes to infuse poetry. His works reflect the works of Rumi, Hafiz, and other poets that are really unique. This piece, what I love, is Bill Barrett. Bill Barrett is a renowned sculptor, and this is on loan from our affiliate gallery in El Paseo, Melissa Morgan Fine Art, which is one of the most premier galleries of the desert. And so what we love about Bill Barrett is that he does these abstract, kind of bimorphic sculptures in bronze. And he is in his late 80s, and we have 4 sculptors, well-known, renowned sculptors in their late 80s and 90s that are in multiple museums and institutions. So what we also wanted is artwork that is blue chip, that is collectors, that carries its weight. Out of Bulgaria, we have Stoicho Nikorov, who is a sculptor who does small-scale bronzes that are abstract.
That are beautiful.
They're truly unique. So he's
really
out of
beautiful.
Sofia, Bulgaria, and we're really lucky to have his work here. And just kind of let me show you the outdoor sculptures we have. And we're really lucky and blessed with some amazing artists. So right off the bat, this is Joe McDonnell, another well-known artist in his 80s from the East Coast. This is on loan from Melissa Morgan Fine Art. We also have artwork. So we have vintage. This is a Dufayet. These are actually ceramic totems done by Robert Glover, the same ceramist outside. So these are actually look like stone, but they're actually ceramic, and they were from his early 80s collection. We wanted to have something that people can put outside by their pool or somewhere in their yard, but also have pieces for the inside, whether those are larger or smaller. So because the Palm Springs homes here are so distinct, and they're also range in size and scale. So we wanted to have something for everyone.
I love it. I love it. Here's my next question. I've got one piece to buy here. Is somebody who perhaps is new at collecting art, where does somebody start? What kind of advice would you give them?
You know, obviously you start with, I always say, first, whatever you love. You have to love the piece. 2, is it appropriate to scale for where you're going to envision putting it.
People get that wrong sometimes.
Sometimes they do, and we're happy to help them. And we're not trying to upsell anybody. So, and also it has to be right for your price point. We have things that are, we have small objects that are maybe $100 or a couple $100, and we have pieces that are $90,000. So there's a large spectrum of art that varies. So it really depends what the person's looking for. Is it an investment? Or is it something that they want to use decoratively?
Or both.
Or both.
Or
both. Yeah. And exactly. So, it has to be right. But I always say the first and foremost and most important thing is, do you love this piece? Is this something that speaks to you? Because when a piece speaks to you, then you can speak back to it. Then you already know it's right.
Yo, the Brew Boys are here.
One of the things we decided to do this season is really bring larger pieces in. So this piece is, I believe, almost 11 feet wide. This it's a Yuri Zotterain.
Okay.
And we wound up bringing in larger pieces of work to really capture, like this is also Yuri Zotterain. We wanted things that can carry a wall. Larger pieces that speak, that they are soulful, but if they stand alone on a wall, they tell their own story.
If they were the only thing in the room, they would tell a story.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because you're not going to clutter your space with a ton of art, but you want every piece to be distinct and soulful. So this is Yuri Zotterain, this is Miguel Chavez. Argentina, Mexico. And so from Japan, we have this amazing artist by the name of Ken Sugimoto.
Okay.
And he hand sculpts using traditional blacksmith techniques, takes these carbon steel, stainless steels, and hand sculpts this in fire. And there's a little picture of him doing it right there, like the original technique. So takes him a month to do just one piece. The piece of steel is then taken and put in the fire, and he beats it with a hammer until he develops it. And it's interesting, he doesn't speak any English, and I don't speak any Japanese, but we communicate by text. Exactly.
Yes.
Speak arts. And we communicate by text translate. And then, we try to showcase new artists every month. This is Chris Ronk. He's out of LA originally. And he and I have been working together for 2 years. And what I love about his work is while it's geometric, while it's modernist, it has so much soul, as he has created this technique where he takes this tarp and then adds a polymer that he mixes and beats to create a vintage, almost French linen soak vibe, but then does these modernist shapes to it. This artist here is...
It's like a little Japanese pop art-ish slash...
So it's actually Dorothy Churchill Johnson.
Okay.
She's an amazing artist who's been in 17 museums. She passed away in 2023. We represented her estate. And what she did, she's an oil painter, but she is a master of taking the mundane and making it masterful. Okay. So all her works, we just showed for her about a year ago, and we're gonna bring some of her pieces in again. But whether she would see a little flower or a penny on the floor or somewhere on the street, or whether it's torn posters, and she takes her masterful oil painting technique and paints it to give something so mundane and insignificant, almost life and texture, that makes you think twice about it's the little things that count. I actually started painting during the pandemic because I never, I'd always been a collector, but I decided to just give it a try and started painting. And the work I do is Jungian psychology, basically around shadow work. And I kind of wanted something for patients to see and just kind of have, I applied, kind of shadow work, and kind of Matisse was an inspiration, but I wanted to kind of create pieces that were in, that can basically stimulate dialogue. And in this piece, it's called, you know, falling slowly. And it's that feeling that when we are in a state of depression or sadness, we feel like we're falling or free falling sometimes. But the way I painted this is that if you flip it around upside down, it actually feels like ascension. So it has two names.
Yeah.
So depending on how you hang the painting, it actually, or it's your mindset. If you change your mindset, kind of the optics, it's the same way as changing the optics of how it's hung, then it actually has the figure ascending and
Or
flying.
how you see life.
How you see life,
Right?
exactly.
Is it? Yeah.
So-
I mean, that's actually it's sort of like the glass half full. Like,
Bingo.
do you see it as falling or do you see it as life?
Exactly.
Amazing.
All
Awesome.
right. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Appreciate it.
coming. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. And thank you for your assistance.
Today, we're getting active.
So we're here at the Mod Squad Variety Show at the Palm Springs Cultural Center, and my co-host Rasheed has finally shown up, but decided to eat dinner instead. Is this your dinner?
No, this is,
You're never going to get a wife if you
first
keep
of all,
doing
I'm
this.
supposed to be sugar-free. You out here exposing me.
Oh, wait. You're exposed.
So we are here at intermission during this amazing show. You guys have been just killing it. Tell us, how do you guys come up with the arrangement of songs? Because you guys are just, well, I knew a lot of the songs.
Yeah.
So how did you guys come up with the arrangement for this type of audience?
It just depends on the song. Some songs we sing directly like they do it, like Summer Breeze is exactly how it is. A couple others, sometimes we like to play with the tempo, sometimes we play with who sings what parts, like Hey Sarah Sarah, which is like a girl song. We decided to do it as a group and have each person take a verse, and like we're giving each other advice. So we just try to, you know, like we try to just make songs a little different than people might be used to hearing them.
Stopped into a church. I passed along the way. You know I got down on my knees and I began to pray. You know the preacher likes to go. He knows I wanted to stay.
Doing different shows together around town for that many years.
Okay.
And then we got this opportunity because Jason was at this club and he said, hey, you guys, I go away to back east in the summer. Will you guys take my place? We came in and decided to make it the Mod Squad. And after a few years and a couple other people, Jason came back. And so we incorporated him back into the group. And that's where we are. Pretty much.
I love that. I love how you guys also perform, and it feels so natural. Like you just perform with a group of friends as well, too.
Yeah, it's not.
But you're in our living
Really
room,
ad-libbed,
unfortunately.
yeah.
Absolutely.
We've only been doing it 3 years, though. That's what
Yeah,
makes us
3
so-
years. Yeah, and
That's it.
Jason travels back and forth, and we do different shows. So our together time is limited, but when we do, we try to get it all to come together. And luckily, the audience is very forgiving, and they like the freedom of what we do. So we have a good time. It's pretty easy to, and plus we can have a cocktail during the show and just have a good time.
This is like the first year, the first season, the three of us have worked together.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There was
Yep.
another guy named Wayne Bravenel who
Yes.
was phenomenal with them.
Yes.
But he
Here.
needed to step down
And-
here at the Cultural Center. So I've stepped in this year and I'm helping them out a little bit. And they're guiding me along because I'm not used to playing. I'm used to playing by myself.
Yeah, Jason is kind
So it's fun. It's a good learning curve, though.
very.
They're very patient.
You guys definitely gotta check this out. This is definitely a must try. And on other words, Jay, go ahead and take us out.
I love you, baby, and it is quite alright. I need you, baby. So for the lonely nights, I want you, baby. Trust in me when I say just say, oh, let me love you, baby. Let me love you. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. And if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You are just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
And let me try with pleasured hands to take you to the sun, to promised lands, to show you everyone it's the time of the season for loving. What's your name?
What's your